Hi, I'm Rick Conlow. Thank you for coming to the Success as a Leader video training series. Our goal here is to help managers transform to leaders. We're going to talk about one of the key areas here that can differentiate a manager from all others, and it's how to communicate with authentic power and positively. We say in our leadership training, communicate, communicate, communicate all day long. It's that important. Now, here are a few quotes about communication, the problems and the possibilities. George Bernard Shaw said the biggest problem with communication is the illusion that it's taken place. You see, the number one thing that comes up in companies off of employee engagement surveys is we don't communicate around here. Samik Kar said this: if you can't solve it by email, IM, texting, faxing, or phone calls, let's, as a last resort, meet in person. Have you ever experienced that in an organization? And Oscar Wilde said, when people agree with me, I always feel I must be wrong. But Anne Morrow Lindbergh said, good communication is as stimulating as black coffee and just as hard to sleep after. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we had better communicators in organizations? And that's why it can be so helpful to you as a leader. However, there's lots of problems with communication. Here are 11 examples of poor communication, and I'm not going to comment on all of them, but I just want to say this: these will rear their ugly heads if we don't want to help people. We've got to have the value that people are important, that we care about them, that we want to win-win. If we have that, then we can learn the skills, the one particular that we'll talk about today, and others, to be much more effective. But look at, a foul mouth. Someone said a foul mouth reveals more about you than the one you're using it against. Or how about off-color jokes? I was in a conference once, and the speaker said an off-color joke, and there was 1,000 people there. Over half of them walked out because of it. And I remember a company I worked with a number of years ago, and the VP of Sales and Marketing was always instigating conflict between people. That doesn't help an organization. That doesn't build teamwork, and lies and half-truths. Now, this is one that politicians use very extensively in their ads and a number of their speeches. And you know what? It doesn't build trust. It destroys trust and credibility. In fact, Congress, for example, is one of the lowest rated professions around. So, these don't help, but they will get in the way if we don't care about the team and want them to win. Notice the bonus. I'll give you another bonus besides the one here, is selfishness. Because remember, the key rule about leadership is it isn't about you, it's about the team. Now, have you ever seen this? You probably saw this maybe in high school or college in a communication course, and it's communication theory, that it's two-way. Person A, person B, they got to talk to one another, right? Yeah, you probably saw that before. And hey, that would be great. That's ideal. I'm here to tell you that doesn't work in the real world. Because if you're person A, what if person B doesn't know his or her part? So they're doing a number of those things we just looked at in their communication. So does that mean then, as you as person B, because person B doesn't know what's going on, does that mean you can't communicate with that person? No, you don't have time for that. Take a customer, for example. Customers don't think, okay, I got to be nice, I got to be pleasant when I bring my complaint to the company. Nah, it doesn't happen that way, and it doesn't happen that way with coworkers, let alone at home. So someone has to take 100% responsibility, and I say, if that's me, it's me. In your case, it's you. Now, according to research, there are 3 major things besides your values that impact the word, your communication impact. The words you say, the voice tone, and your behavior. So it's what you say, the words, how you say it, the voice tone, and what you do while you're saying it, and afterwards to reinforce it, your behavior. That's what impacts it. Now, what percent do you think the words make up? Now, most seminars where I've shared this in speeches, people will say 15, 20%. And how about voice tone? Voice tone, a lot of people say 30, 40%. Notice, according to research, words make up 7% of your impact. Now, they're important. I had a customer one time that his favorite word was boom. So I learned over time that if I would just say, boom, let's do it, he'd love it. So words are important, okay? Voice tone is important. That's your modulation, your pauses, how you go about expressing your words. But notice, over half the impact of our communication is our body language, our body movements, what we do while we're communicating, how we act about what we say. If someone says customer service is important and then treats customers like junk or jerks, what creates the message is how they treat the customer, right? Now, go like this. Just make that sign. I know, you're probably by yourself. Just go like that. Go like this. Move it back and forth, faster, faster, faster. Put it on your chin. What did you do? If you're like 85% of other people we do this with, they put it on their cheek just like I did. That's the power of the body language, our behavior. Now, the key is we've got to pull this all together. So we say, leaders, words are of value. Your voice tone is important, but your actions speak the truth. And if we can get these congruent, it creates trust, credibility, rapport. That's how you come across. And then it helps create an environment where people want to do the job. Not because they have to, but because they want to, because your communication is authentic and it's positive. See what I'm talking about there? So how good can you be? If you make some adjustments in your approach and how you communicate to eliminate some of those negative examples, to ensure that you're communicating words and how you say them and your actions are congruent and clear, and you support what you say, most importantly by what you do. You back it up, you support it, you reinforce it. How good can you be? Here's a picture of Eric Weinmeier. And he went blind when he was about 12, 13 years old. And traumatic experience. He had a friend that was into rock climbing, so he took Eric with him. And Eric liked it because he could touch things and it was tangible. And he got good at rock climbing. And he climbed a few mountains and he climbed bigger mountains. And make a long story short, here he is climbing Mount Everest, the first blind person in the history of the world to do such a thing. Now, I don't know about you. I'm not a mountain climber. To me, it's inconceivable to be able to do that. But he did it. He couldn't see, but he did it anyway. Because he wanted to. It gave him hope about his world and the impact he could make after losing his sight. And here's the thing. If we want to do something, we can do it. If we value it, we'll learn it and put it into practice. Hey, I have this dream that soars on golden wings. I visualize your achievements and your legacy that sings. I do not know all about your awesome goals or your persistent efforts to raise the bar. I only know you can be the best, a superstar. Thanks for coming.